Hi there, Michael Tasner here, the CEO of Local Childcare Marketing, powered by No Joke Marketing. So there's a lot of metrics that you can look at when it comes to running your business. And there's obviously the enrollment numbers, which are critical to look at. You can look at number of appointments that you have with parents that are coming up. There's lots of metrics you can look at, and those often you have down cold and you know pretty well. The metrics that I wanted to give you a little bit of insight on in terms of what do we actually look at in all the different childcare centers that we're working with, what are we looking at? And what should you consider taking a look at from a metric standpoint to kind of tell you how things are moving and see if there's any patterns that you might be missing or some things that could give you some interesting insight. So we'll start with the website. If I'm looking at the website, the simplest of numbers is just looking at how much raw traffic came to your website. So for simple math, let's just say 1,000 people came to your website in the last 30 days. Okay, is that a good number or not? I'm not sure, depending on, the size of your center, do you have other locations? Are you in a huge area? That may be good, it may be terrible numbers. But with all the numbers that I'm going to give you, I encourage you to always look at two different things. So I want you to look at the revolving 30 prior. So compare the month, let's just say it's 30 days compared to another 30-day cycle. So you're not comparing 28 days to 31 days, for example. So a revolving period, and then also compare it to the year prior. So let's just say you're in January, you're going to compare January of this year to January of the year prior. What do the numbers look like? And the reason why that to me is more important than just looking at, month over month, for example, is that obviously you've got different cycles, you've got different enrollment cycles. You know when you're going to have those ebbs and flows, and you know that December is usually a very quiet month. So, if you're comparing, January to December, for example, your January could look amazing, whereas December looked dismal in terms of your traffic. So you've got to be comparing the same month to the same month. And the numbers should be going up. If they're going down, there are some issues. If we're talking, you've got 990 the previous year and 980 this year, that's not a huge decline. But if you had 2,000 and now you're at 1,000, you've got to look and see what was going on there. So that's the rawest of numbers. And then from there, I like to look at where did that number come from? So what are the traffic sources? How much came from Google Organic and Yahoo Organic and Bing? Were you doing Google AdWords? How much came from that? Social media, are you doing any radio advertising? You can look at all of those. Radio advertising if you're driving to a landing page, for example, or if you have an ad on the radio website, you can track that. But I want to look at where's your traffic coming from. And if you really have things set up, dialed in, you can start to look at not only the traffic then, but how many people submitted an application online or requested to schedule an appointment online. That's really a perfect closed loop system to say, we got 1,000 visitors, 500 came from Google AdWords, 500 came from Google Organic. Again, I'm using simple math for now. And I can see that 5 submitted applications here and 10 requested appointments here. Those are perfect closed loop metrics and closed loop systems. And that just allows you to kind of see how things are trekking. In terms of social media, we're managing a lot of social media accounts for the different childcare centers we're working with. And the raw numbers of, oh great, last month we had 500 likes, this month we got 506. Okay, yippee, we got 6 new likes. I don't necessarily care about the likes. I care about, is it driving traffic? Is it driving new appointments? Is it driving quality interaction, shares, comments, likes of the particular post, for example? That's the branding stuff that becomes a little bit harder to measure, but I don't just really care about going from 500 likes to 600 likes month over month, for example. I want to look at that engagement. I want to look at the reach. That's another great number to measure, is how many people actually got to see your message or see your brand. So that Facebook reach, for example. So those are just some of the metrics that we look at on a weekly, monthly basis. You also want to track your search engine rankings. How are you ranking? Are you on page 1? Are you on page 10? You got to be looking at those on a monthly basis, sometimes even a weekly basis. Are things, jumping? Are they going up and down? You've got to know where you stand. If your Google organic traffic is close to zero, then that means that your search engine rankings are really non-existent. You're not on page 1. That's why you're not getting the right traffic. So those are just some of the metrics that I look at. I also like to see city. So if you serve multiple locations, you can look at the traffic that's coming to your website from different locations to see if you're trying to be more aggressive in a particular area versus less aggressive in a different area because you need to raise your enrollment in one area versus the other. You can make sure that that traffic is correlating. If you're running ads offline, you can look and see how the spikes are attributing. Are you seeing a spike of traffic when radio ads are running, for example? So lots of great ways to track your metrics. You gotta be looking at this stuff at the very least on a monthly basis, and weekly is even better. As always, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment, leave a question, a thought, an idea. Happy to get back to you. And if you'd like, visit localchildcaremarketing.com/discovery. We can book a no-cost discovery call, brainstorm a little bit, and see if there's a potential fit and how we can help you grow. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Look forward to talking to you very soon.